Hey guys.
Did you hear my neck?
No.
Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't just
Welcome to a geriatric episode of the Watch Party.
I just went to go,
Thank you for being a friend.
hey guys, and it was like,
Okay.
life flashed before my eyes.
We might be doing this next episode from the nursing home.
Exactly.
Because we're old and dying.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Anyway, in the meantime, welcome to the Watch Party.
Welcome. Oh my gosh.
If you're new to the channel, this is where we talk about some things that are maybe not true crime, maybe true crime adjacent, or maybe just because we feel like it.
Yeah.
So if that's something you're into, like and subscribe.
Please do.
Click the bell. We don't know what it does, but click it.
We've heard that.
we
join
haven't-
the membership.
We recently found out we have a membership.
Send us a super chat or something.
What's that?
It's
Send it.
somewhere in the back end. It said I could turn them on, so I did. I don't know what these things are, but the cool kids
Okay.
are doing it. I
Cool.
think.
Well, do it. We'll be there maybe in 7 business years. We're going to be like T-Pain, where he didn't realize you could get DMs on TikTok or something. And he's like, all of these like famous people have reached out to me to collaborate, and I just haven't answered them.
They're probably like, T-Pain's a jerk.
So that we're not trying to be jerks, but
Yeah.
But send us a message anyway. Yeah.
Yes, and for our regular K-Cuties, today we are going to talk about the movie House of Gucci and also the murder of Maurizio Gucci.
Maurizio.
Yeah, I am a country well,
Just you. I'm not.
yeah. I was like comparatively not as much as you, but here we are.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Because I can't say that and you can. That was good.
Maurizio?
Well, I can say it like that.
Oh.
You
Maurizio.
did it. Yeah.
You have to say it like Mario.
It's a Mario.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That's where I get my Italian accent from.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
From
good.
Pizza Hut.
Lady Gaga could
Yeah.
possibly have tried that.
She could have.
Love her.
Do love her for sure, for sure.
Accent came out a little Russian.
It was magnificent.
It
At
was
times.
confusing.
At
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
Honestly though, I could not do
Oh my gosh,
an
no.
accent.
No.
So
No. Yeah.
whatever movie they hire me for in the future, because this is obviously where our
Yes.
acting career takes off. This is the accent they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have to be like, "You're an old English lady," and I'm gonna be like, "Yep, sure I am, y'all."
Yeah, exactly.
This is it.
Yeah.
So what you get?
Also, to be fair, I'm not being a turd. I didn't notice anything about the accent. I thought it was great, but I watched some movie reviews and they were like, her
Oh.
accent sounds Eastern European. And then once you hear that, I was like, okay, I could kind of hear it, I guess. I didn't notice it. They also said how everybody's accent was different in the movie.
It's all Italian to me.
Exactly. Also, thanks to Madison for taking the notes on this one.
Oh, hey girl, thanks.
And we love you. Okay, so House of Gucci. The Gucci family started their own fashion house,
Yeah, they did.
and it was a luxury luggage brand in 1921, founded by, is this right? Gucci? I missed that.
Maybe I don't
Was
know.
that his, is that the dad? No. Is that the dad?
I don't know.
No. Okay. Sorry. I don't know.
I didn't realize that they started as a luggage brand.
I didn't either.
Like I just assumed that they were always like Gucci fashion.
That's what I thought too. Until
The
I
more
watched
you
the
know.
movie. Yeah, exactly. So they opened their first shop in Florence, Italy. They sold leather luggage, accessories, and goods for horsemen.
Horsemen? The headless kind? Or
Centaurs or
what do you please be
Which-
specific?
which horsemen? There are many kinds.
There are.
Apparently 3. Headless, centaurs, and whatever this was.
Yeah.
The business grew quickly and, oh, okay. All right. Guccio was not the dad. Okay. Because I was
Okay.
like, I don't remember that being his name.
No, I thought his name was Adolfo.
Rodolfo.
Rodolfo.
You got
Okay.
it. So then his sons, Vasco, Aldo, Rodolfo, and Ugo,
Yeah.
they opened several more shops. And then in 1953, Guccio died. Was his name for real Guccio?
Gucci?
Julia Gulia.
Oh.
And the business shares were left to 3 of his sons. Oh, Ugo, oof, I don't know, had been adopted. You, Guccio.
Rude.
Is he your son or not your son?
I'm your son.
So now we're going to talk about Patrizia Reggiani.
Mm-hmm.
I tried. Okay.
She had a very New York Italian accent too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and okay, so I watched like a bunch of stuff.
I mean, she is from New York.
Why
so.
not? Yeah. And she said that she specifically, okay, Lady Gaga is just like a whole other vibe. Like, she's amazing. She's
incredible.
Lived as Patrizia Reggiani for 9 months before filming the movie. She never broke character, not once. She lived in the accent, whatever. But she also said that in different parts of the movie, so like here, when she is like younger and she's just meeting Maurizio and all that kind of stuff, she's, you know, she grew up in a poor family. She doesn't have a lot of money, all that kind of stuff. So she kind of had this like less sophisticated accent, she said.
Okay.
But then as she got in with the Gucci family and they would go to Milan.
She like refined.
She would have it more refined.
I
So
can
she
see
said
that.
she would kind of alter it depending on who she was talking to in the movie too.
Uh-huh.
I thought
I mean,
was,
that
like,
makes
a cool
sense because like
note.
if you think about it, at least I do this, not on purpose. I try to sound less ridiculous than I sound all the time. So when I'm talking to people I don't know, it's become second nature now. Like I make an effort to not sound so insane when I talk.
Yeah.
But when I talk to people like in my family or like people back home, if I'm ever back home, like I can feel the accent like get thicker.
Yes. Yeah.
And definitely the more I drink, the whew, she gets rough.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My syllables increase, the amount of syllables. So she didn't grow up rich,
No.
but she married, or her mother married a rich businessman who then adopted Patrizia as his own, which I guess is the man who had the trucking company.
The trucking company,
yeah. And she was kind of like, she was kind of a socialite, but the higher end, you know, circles didn't really accept her.
Yeah, she was like, just like, she was like new money, essentially. Like,
yeah. And they're like,
ugh, get out of here.
Nah.
Yeah.
But that changed when she was 21 and she met Maurizio, who was 22 at the time, at a disco birthday party in 1970.
Yeah. I love in the movie where she's like, who invited you? And he's like, Bianca. And she's like, who's that?
Yeah.
And he was like, it's her party. And she was like, oh, that Bianca. Yeah. I know her. I
for sure know Bianca.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
He apparently thought she looked like Elizabeth Taylor.
Okay.
They
I mean,
both had
dark hair.
But that's like, also men are like,
yep.
That's the amount of times that like my husband will see an actress and he'll be like, is that Julia Roberts? I'm like,
no.
Not even close. He's like, their hair's kind of the same. Like,
as in they both have hair.
They both have hair. Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I got my hair colored. We'd been dating for a year. Now, granted, I changed the color fairly drastically. My hair had been, when we first met, the brown with the chunky highlights, a la Kelly Clarkson. And then it was just sort of brown. And then I went back blonde. And so I sent him a picture, which was very difficult to do in those days.
Oh, yeah, on the flip phone.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
It was grainy as hell.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I sent the picture, and I was like, well, I think I just didn't send any, like, no explanation needed. He knew I was getting my hair done, and obviously to take a picture. And he goes, oh, who's that lady? That was his response. And I was like, me.
That's why we cannot send men out on the search when you're missing. You can't be trusted to pick out if I go missing photo for the poster, you cannot be trusted to come find me, because how do you know?
How do you know?
Unless you're what's the perfect wife, her husband. Remember he was like, she had an Under Armour hoodie and it was pink.
Oh yeah. Keith was his name. Keith. Sherry Papini.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're that guy, you can't be trusted to be picking stuff out.
I would trust him though.
I would trust him
for sure.
Yeah.
I bet he would pick out a nice picture too.
I bet he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So they meet, they fall in love, they get married. Okay. So they get married in 1972, and the Gucci family was like, meh, I don't like that. Rodolfo was like, but she's poor. What are you doing?
Yeah. You're going to marry a poor?
Ew.
Ugh. Do you know who we are, actually?
Exactly.
It's not a good look for the brand.
Absolutely not. unfortunately, he kind of was right
He 100% was right, actually.
for different reasons, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
It wasn't because she was poor.
Or was it?
Oh.
Because
Is
then
that her
she
villain
was like-
origin story?
Yeah, because she was like, she grew up poor, she got a taste of the money, and she was like, I'm
Yeah.
not losing this money.
I mean, yeah. That's true.
So kinda.
Kind of. But I mean, like you see in the beginning, too, in the movie, like she's forging checks.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like.
She's got some
The tendencies are there.
unorthodox accounting methods.
I have no accounting methods, so hers are already better than mine.
I don't believe in accounting.
No, none of my
Gross.
business.
Yeah, none of my business.
Yeah, my husband texted me today and was like, we just, need to tighten it up a little bit. And I was like, I just texted him back and I was like, I'm rejecting that. Thank you, though. No. Not in this house. In the house of this Lord, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
When you can explain to me how that would even work, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a plan here and we'll
Yeah.
talk about it, but no.
I also reject that plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
So they get married. His family doesn't like it. They didn't even go to their wedding. But Uncle Aldo,
Yeah.
who is played by, oh my God, why did I just forget his name?
Is it Al Pacino?
Yes. I'm like seeing him in my head and I'm like, what
Well, I know.
has
I was
happened to
like,
me?
when you couldn't remember his name, I was picturing in my head too, and I was like, am I wrong about who I think this is now?
No. You know
Al
what it
Pacino.
is? Gene Hackman died last night.
Oh my God, I
Very
know.
different people. But like his name is in my head, and then I was like, it's not Gene Hackman. And then I was like, it's not Robert De Niro. It's Al Pacino.
All in the same category though.
Yes. Very sad about Gene Hackman. Okay, so Uncle Aldo is like, hey, he's like always like coming around, and he's like, how's it going?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he sounds like. That Italian accent,
I mean,
perfection.
I have been practicing.
Perfecto.
And I think it shows. Also, I did read.
You read?
No.
All right.
I heard it out loud.
on TikTok?
Probably. No, on YouTube,
Oh,
where the real information is.
obviously. That's where this is.
That's true. That the Gucci family did not like the portrayal of Aldo. Because I was
Oh.
like, that is the great Al Pacino. Excuse you.
I know.
They
First
didn't
of all,
like it.
watch your mouth.
They said that he was chunky and the real Aldo was much better looking. Now, the real Aldo was a nice looking man. I mean,
Okay,
he was
but Al Pacino's not a bad looking man.
I know. And I don't know if because Al Pacino, he's not normally that size. So I don't know if they had
older
him do that.
now.
Yeah.
And
A
a little more caricature-ish.
Maybe because the cousin, Paolo. Did you know that was Jared Leto?
What?
That's Jared Leto in there.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Which is what I heard on the YouTube that I watched.
Okay.
So see? But apparently the family was like, you made Paolo look sloppy, you made them look chubby, like all that stuff. And they were like,
Okay.
these were well put together men. They were, good looking men, like whatever. So they were kind of offended by that. But for me who didn't
All
know, I
right.
just was like, okay.
I just saw him and I was like, Italian men. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. We don't have to, but I kind of want to, but not for a creepy reason, talk about the sex scene.
Let's talk about it.
Because I saw an interview with Ridley Scott, the director,
Mm-hmm.
and Adam Driver.
I
And
love Adam Driver.
I love Adam Driver.
He's a hear me out.
Yo, is he a hear me out or is he just a...
He's unconventionally attractive, I would say.
Yeah,
But also him as Kylo Ren. Dang.
good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Very good stuff. Yeah, I think he's great. And he's so like...
He's like mysterious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like kind of smoldery and
Mhm.
like, yeah. And he's so funny. Like when he's on SNL, like he's just
Yeah.
really funny. But there was an interview with him. So they were talking about the sex scene
Uh-huh.
and how kind of unconventional it is.
Okay.
And I was like, I didn't even think about any of that. But
nope, me neither.
apparently Ridley Scott, so he said when they were getting ready to do the scene, and so I am learning
Okay.
that the planning of those is very intricate. Sometimes
Yes.
there is apparently industry standard an intimacy coordinator on
Yeah.
set and all of those things, which like I had never heard of before, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But the scene itself is very like raw and like it's a lot of like it's not, there's no finesse to it. It's that like raw, unfiltered, like
passionate,
passion
like,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. They're like, he's like picked her up and she's like up against the wall and like whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, and also for two actors to be able to do that, it looks,
Yeah.
because the guy who was interviewing was like, it was planned out, but how do you make it look
Yeah. That
not
is,
planned out
yeah.
and just that like raw passion and whatever happens?
because I would assume you would be like, this is what we're going for. This is what we want. And then there's a discussion of like boundaries, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of do it.
Yeah. Because I mean,
but not it.
well,
you know?
right. Not all the way it.
Not all the way.
Yeah. Because there's a part where like her
dang.
oh my goodness gracious.
Sorry.
Her skirt is like hiked up and like, you know, his little face is right in there. And like, you know, that's
His
gonna be
little
so
face.
awkward. Like, hello,
I
sir, I work with.
know.
Like, put your face in my
Like,
crotch.
Can you imagine like what is happening with my hair?
Oh. It appears that you've been blown back with a leaf blower all of a sudden.
Okay. Hold please. Here we go.
It didn't start that way.
I know. I don't know what's happening.
I'm just imagining like we've been here talking and every time I don't look at you, somebody's blasting you with a leaf blower.
Is it at least better now?
Yes.
Okay. Jesus. Well,
that was interesting. I mean, I don't know.
listen, sometimes when you have curly hair, it just does stuff.
it just does what it does.
You know?
Yeah.
And she's had enough today. And so there we go with that. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, can you imagine a coworker and being like, "Hi, don't make it weird. I want to take my pants off."
Yeah. You're
just
gonna have to get in there.
FaceTime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Not all the way.
No, but just like
Very
close
realistic
up.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it look real. Don't
Yeah.
do it for real.
Yeah. And then like
also, there are going to be 45 people in here watching it happen.
Yeah. And Adam Driver said that Ridley Scott, he said most of the time, he said when you film a movie with him, it goes really fast because he has 4 cameras going at all times.
Oh.
And he's just like, get it done, get it done, get it done kind of stuff.
I mean, I like that.
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, Adam Driver seemed to really like it too. He's like, we get in there and we get out. But he said with that scene, there was like maybe 1, maybe 2 just handheld cameras. And they just like, he said, we only had to run through the scene like maybe twice. And we got everything that we needed to get. And so they interviewed Ridley Scott and they were like, how did you achieve, like, what were you going for? How did you achieve it or whatever? And he was like, well, Lady Gaga was like, what are you looking for with this? And he was like, I want you to fuck him like a man. And she was like, okay. And he goes, and she did. And I was like,
if someone said that to me, I would be like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Like, because when I was watching the movie, I had it on my phone and I was like doing dishes and stuff. I wasn't like, I wasn't like honed in. So like when I'm watching the interview, they're showing parts and I'm like, you look at it through that lens and you're like, that is interesting. Like how they, and he also played opera music over it. He was like, once we did it, I thought it's kind of funny. And so he's like, so that's why I thought it would be good to put the opera music over it and just kind of like make a whole different like vibe. I thought it was really funny. I was like, man,
okay then.
Creativity. I would never think of any of those things. So, and Adam Driver said they loosely planned it out. They were like, this is what we're going for. And basically like, cause it was in an office. So he's like, make sure we don't, pull a file cabinet down on top of either of our heads and just go for it. Like,
well, it worked.
It did
obviously
work. I mean, I was like, holy moly, like, that's... So the company was not doing well with Aldo leading it, and Maurizio felt that he was killing Gucci's reputation as a luxury brand because he was mass producing their products.
Mm-hmm.
And Patrizia starts to get involved too.
And this is where things go downhill.
She's got ideas. She's got goals.
She does have ideas. And what is it that he tells her? This is not a woman's game or something like that in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
What does he tell her when she finds the knockoff Gucci's at the flea market or whatever? Well, first of all, he's like, these aren't knockoffs, they're replicas. And I was like, girl, that's what that is.
So Maurizio meets with some investors, the same people who own Tiffany.
Hey.
Which
did you have the little fake Tiffany heart necklace in high school? You didn't even have a fake? Well, as a not poor. Just kidding, I was. Kidding, I was a poor.
I was so poor that I didn't even know what Tiffany was until I was in my 20s.
I went on a trip to New York in high school. And yeah, very bougie. I saw The Lion King on Broadway, no big deal.
Oh my gosh.
I know, she's so cultured. I also went to Chinatown.
Ooh.
And I went through the little back room and got a knockoff bag of some kind. I don't remember, probably Coach, because that's what was popular and believable. Oh no, I got a fake Chanel bag and she was gorgeous.
Oh.
Yeah, I carried her for a long time until she fell apart. Anyway,
yeah.
I got a fake Tiffany's necklace too, though. The little, the one, like it was just a little silver heart and it was like the thick chain link. And it had the little, like, it was the circle with the little bar that goes through it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that's what that was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that being popular.
It was Tiffany.
Wow.
Mine was Tiffany's cousin, but.
Tiffany's second cousin, maybe.
Yeah. And she turned my neck green, but
But
I wore it.
Beautiful. That's so funny. Yeah, well, I'm sure that really pissed them off.
Well, Patrizia would have loved it.
Oh yeah. So he wants to get investors or whatever, somebody who can buy out the other half of Gucci, the half he says that causes him problems, which is Paolo and Aldo's half. Paolo ends up selling his 3.3% of Gucci to this investment company, ultimately then giving Maurizio control of the company. And Aldo was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Aldo is not happy. He's like, I gave you life. What are
Literally.
you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And Aldo recognizes a pair of shoes that one of the investment guys is wearing, and he knows that they must have come from Maurizio because they're like special shoes or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, those shoes came from my special cows.
See, the special cows.
Swiss Alps or whatever it is. I don't know where they get them.
I think they're in Italy.
Where do you raise cows? Okay, just Italy. Okay.
I think it's in Italy.
Sure. In the Italian
leather
boot district.
Yep. That's where they come from.
That's where it is.
They're only fancy cows if they come from a specific region.
Exactly. So then Aldo is like, Maurizio is behind this, and he calls him a traitor. And Paolo comes in his windbreaker,
which we love to see.
We love to see. Now that is so 90s.
Peak 90s.
It couldn't be more 90s. So Aldo sells his shares. And now Maurizio is the majority shareholder of Gucci. So now Maurizio is the big boss. And he wants all these like well-known designers to come to Gucci, but they don't want to.
Yep.
And so this is when he meets Tom Ford. And Tom Ford is like, ew.
He's like,
like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So but I guess they did end up.
Tom Ford ends up.
Yeah, he starts giving him some ideas.
Yeah.
And they kind of start working together.
Yeah.
But Tom Ford is like, I mean, you're going to have to do some better stuff, sir. Because everybody really likes Tom Ford's stuff. And it kind of seems like everybody is like, Maurizio, you're kind of dragging it down.
Yeah.
I think you're
the problem.
Everybody else was dragging it down, but you are dragging it down.
Yeah. There's only one man left standing, my friend.
Yeah. So then they all band together and they're like, look.
Get him out.
Yeah. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. You got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go. You're a problem. So they try to buy his shares and he doesn't want to. But then on Monday, March 27th, 1995, he gets on his little bicycle. He rides bicycles all around the town.
I know. I know.
Which I'm guess is an Italian thing. We just don't live in a place where you can ride bikes around
don't
because
know.
everything's so spread out. But he's riding his little bike
In his suit.
in his suit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. He did
Gucci's,
have
they're
his
just
little
like
leg.
us.
The Gucci's are just like us. Now, he had his little leg band thing to like keep his pants from getting it. I was like, "Ugh, I wonder if that's designer.
It probably is. This one's a fancy leggy bikey thingy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sure was.
So then he's dead now.
R.I.P.
Very sad. And the valet guy is like, what the hell? With his baseball bat. And then the guy shoots him too. And it's like, well, what did I do?
Yeah.
But here we are. And then they show Patrizia writing just one word in her journal.
Uh-huh.
She writes in the movie paradiso, which is the Italian word for paradise, which is like, girl, let's don't time stamp that. Not a good idea.
Yeah.
In
not a
real
good
life,
look.
she wrote paradisus, which is the Greek word for paradise. But
Either way,
Ridley Scott thought we'd all be too stupid to pick that up, and he's right.
Yeah.
Paradiso, I got perfectly.
yeah.
So then obviously they find out that,
She was behind it.
or she finds out that he's dead.
Oh.
And then, so then 2 years later, she is brought to trial along with Pina, the psychic, and the two men who
Yeah.
she hired to kill Maurizio. The judge tries to address her as Signora Reggiani, and she's like, I'm not answering to that.
Yeah. It was very on brand again for exactly how she's portrayed in the movie, apparently exactly how she is in real life. She's like, that's not my name. It's like that song. That's not my name.
That's not my name.
Yep.
I love that song.
My hot take on this whole thing is, though, I didn't love the movie. It was long.
It was very long. It was like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And they cut the second kid out. They cut there's something else that they cut out. So
I mean, they cut
well,
out
the whole second
other,
affair.
the second affair, like just
Yeah. Or the affair.
Well,
Paula
yeah.
wasn't an affair. Excuse me.
the casting was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um,
Star-studded cast. Yeah.
for real, I enjoyed the cast. The story was good. I mean, obviously, it really happened, but whatever.
Mhm.
But the movie itself to me was just long,
Yeah.
longer than necessary.
Yeah. There was a lot of.
The pace was slow, I guess. It's not even that it was long. It's just that it was a slow paced movie for me.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
this episode is a slow paced episode because we took a lot of tangents, which is so uncommon for us.
Oops.
I think we might have taken more this time than normal, though.
I think so too. And you know what I attribute that to is it's after lunch.
It is after lunch, which is not when I do my best work.
Shit gets wild after lunch.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. So, like this hair.
Mm-hmm.
This is the episode of mini hairstyles.
I know it has like evolved.
I know.
over the-
I gotta just. She's having a day.
Well, you know, she does what she wants.
She does do what she wants. And on that note, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see.
And I'll do something about that, I guess.
I don't know where to look now. Yeah.
I know. We're losing cameras. All right. Bye.
Bye.